The hottest new ship is coming out in summer 2022, and that's the NCL Prima. And we're going to give you our honest opinion on her. We're going to give you the insider travel agent information, so you don't want to miss out on this video.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott.
And I'm Maddie.
From No Maps Needed Travel. And we're super excited to be talking about the newest ship that is coming to NCL fleet, the Prima class ship.
So I was fortunate enough to get a sneak peek from a webinar we had last week with the executives at Norwegian Cruise Lines, and it was all about the Prima class ship, and it was really, really interesting. To say the least. Some really cool concept coming out with the Prima, and we're going to give you our final verdict at the end of the video on what the Prima really is like. Before we continue, we would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. What else do they need to do, Scotty?
Give us a thumbs up.
Yes, and ring that notification bell so you can keep up to date on all of our content. And we love comments. Leave a comment below on what you think the Prima is going to be like. Are you going to want to sail on her? What you think about versus the previous class to the new class. There's just so much fun information. So let's dig into it.
Okay, so let's take a look at what the Prima class ship has to offer. There's a new ocean walk, the outdoor food hall, new position of the Haven suites,
Ooh.
and so much more. But here's a little sneak peek at the NCL Prima.
Introducing Norwegian Prima, the first in a new class of ships. Made for the trailblazers and tastemakers, for first-time seekers and explorers of the spectacular. Made for you. With more wide-open spaces to enjoy the great wide open. Rooms that have more room. And service that puts you first. Be the first to discover a new experience at sea. Norwegian Prima. Coming summer 2022.
Okay, that was so interesting. Absolutely, again, not going to give you the review or what I think of her till the end of the video. Okay, so what we know so far is that she's set to sail summer of 2022. And the Norwegian Prima is the first in a new generation of ships that the NCL fleet has to offer, making NCL's goal to launch the most demand-in ship ever. This is the first new ship class created for NCL in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Right? Last 10 years. So one of the cool things you automatically see on the Prima is the hull art. So we all know that NCL is known for their hull art and the uniqueness of each ship, what each ship has. But for the Prima, you can see on the rear of the ship, the hull art goes all the way to the bow. And then if you look closely, it actually goes all the way up to the front of the ship, up to the bridge deck. Absolutely cool. It's the first time they ever have done something for the ship. So the hull art was actually done by a creative artist, that is a graffiti artist named Peda. And he is based out of Italy, and I was able to research some of his work, and the guy's smart, significantly smart.
That's really cool. It's something that obviously they're known for. Mm-hmm. And it's always nice to see a Norwegian ship in port because it's not just a solid color. There's artwork on the side, and each ship is distinctive. So you can tell what the ship is just by the art.
Exactly.
So now let's share some of the statistics about the Prima that are very unique in themselves. We'll go into detail in a minute about the new staterooms and the movement of the Haven class, but first let's share some other information. The Prima is going to significantly be different from NCL's Breakaway and Breakaway Plus class at 3,215 guests double occupancy, and the main reason why that is because NCL's focus was to create more of a space for the guest experience.
Wow. That's actually quite intriguing. Like, you would think that, like, a lot of cruise lines are starting to create larger ships.
Yes, and they're scaling back on the number of passengers that are going to be on the ship.
That's so weird. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying weird in a bad way, but, like, you would try to pretty much capitalize on your market with adding more staterooms to make more revenue. So, good on NCL. I'm thinking that's a positive.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to share with you about the Prima is going to be my favorite thing. Ocean Boulevard. This takes place of the waterfront on the previous class ship, and it's like double the size. So 44,000 square feet of outdoor space compared to the 19,500 square feet on the Breakaway class ships. It has a lot more of attractions around the deck, and it's a wow.
That truly is a wow.
Right?
Is it not? Scott and I, we have unfortunately not sailed NCL yet. It was supposed to be last year, but things, whatever. Things happen. But anyways, we were looking forward to significantly because of the waterfront. Scott and I are picturesque type of individuals. We love just to sit somewhere quiet and have a beautiful scenery around us, read a book.
Watch the ocean go by.
Right. But in this case, to be actually like, to have it indoors, but then also outdoor space is just,
Yeah, and it's not like you're sitting by a Lido pool where there's people, swimming and talking to one another. You can find a quiet space around the outer deck and just enjoy it.
Exactly. So what else is there, Scotty?
So another exciting thing that is new to this class of ship is the food hall. So it's an indoor-outdoor culinary experience with 11 different food and food truck style options. It's almost like a food court on a cruise ship. Yeah, so there's options such as noodles, a noodle bar, Coco's, the Garden, which is a vegetarian option, Tamara, an Indian cuisine, and everyone's favorite, Starbucks.
Absolutely.
Right?
Amazing.
Can't forget about Starbucks.
No, everybody needs their cup of java in the morning.
Right.
But the one thing I really love the aspect of the food hall is because it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You don't have to traditionally just, grab a sandwich, do this, do that, but it gives you a plethora of different types of
options food to try. And from what I understand, it's going to be like a grab and go almost, or a quick serve, quick serve type of deal, so that it's a quick eatery.
Quick eatery. The one thing I'm going to be very honest with you about, I did not enjoy, and what they said was that they still haven't worked out the logistics of it yet, but that breakfast and lunch was going to be it's going to be free. You can grab anything it's all included, but they were looking at doing an a la carte dining menu at a fixed price for dinner.
Well,
and
Norwegian's kind of known for that. They do have they have a lot of sort of upcharge options on their ships. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It does give you, it gives you some finer dining and that kind of thing. But I don't know why this would have to have an upcharge.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of sad to hear, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
They didn't say that they had made up their mind.
Mine's that. And the other thing that a lot of people are talking about out there too is like the main dining room, the buffets.
Yeah.
They really haven't touched based on what they're doing there. Some people are rumored to say that it's gone. I personally don't think so. I think it's just they're trying to elaborate a little bit more on the food options with it and trying to give just a different aspect of it.
So another really neat feature about the Prima class is that it has the glass bridges located on either side of the ship. So these are a unique feature to NCL that's really is it really that innovative? I don't know. There's other ships that have this. So Princess has the ones on the side of their ship as well that go out, and
NCL has their, MSC has the Bridge of Sighs,
which goes across the back
right.
of the ship. So I don't know that it's the newest innovative thing, but it is pretty cool that you can walk out, look down through the glass, and you're over top of the water.
I think the only really big thing, and that would make it a little bit more innovative for NCL, is that, the Bridge of Sighs, like you said, Scotty, is mainly on the aft of the ship, and for Princess, they have their little bridges on either side. Mm-hmm. The Royal class ships for Princess started that in 2013, but for this one is that the glass bridge is actually significantly longer, and it's got a larger span, so you can actually...
Does it go further out over the water, maybe?
I believe it goes over further out a little bit over the water, but I'm going to be bad and say it's a perfect spot for selfies.
But first, let me take a selfie.
Right?
Okay.
Right?
Very true.
Like, my whole thing is, I think one of the presenters said, like, why not lie down and take your selfie lying down on the water? Right?
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
That might be... Maybe they have the right idea.
Because,
maybe they have the right idea.
You got to get your Instagram moment.
That's right.
Honestly, got to get your Instagram moment.
Yeah. And I think the next thing I'm going to share with you is... I don't know if it's a first for a cruise line or not. But they have included infinity pools on the side of the ship. So you probably saw it in the footage we showed earlier. There are 2 infinity pools that are located on the Ocean Boulevard deck, on the port side and starboard side, and they're unique to the ship. None of the other NCL class has this, and they are almost at sea level. So when you're in the pool, you can see right over the edge, and it feels like you're
at sea level,
swimming in the ocean.
Right? That would be cool.
Yes. And then, of course, they have included a third pool.
Yes.
A third infinity pool in the Haven area, and it is at the aft of the ship.
And finally, there's what they call the outdoor sculpture garden, which is actually called the concourse.
Okay.
The works of Alexander Krivoshew are located in the outdoor section and are a reflection of the fluidity of moving water. What is also really cool is that during sunsets, the art pieces actually will support, with the support of technology, will create stunning effects for all to see. Now, we're huge art buffs. Like, we love art. And this kind of made me go, this would be another great thing, especially during the night. Like, date night. You've done a really nice dinner, and now you're strolling around the outdoor areas. And you do it with some art. Like, why not?
So I would assume it's almost like an immersive kind of thing where you're...
Kind of.
Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but obviously I'm assuming the light is going to reflect and, make it seem like maybe things are moving.
Right.
I don't know.
It seems really interesting.
It would be very interesting to check that out.
Yeah. Now, what a lot of people might be wondering about is accommodations. Now, NCL has a really interesting concept with their accommodations. So, of course, they have interior ocean view. They're actually probably one of the first cruise lines to actually create studio cabins for solo passengers. But they're also known for their Haven experience. Now, we're going to start off on the burning question of the Haven. You want the sweet life, right?
Yes.
Everybody wants to be posh. Everybody wants to have glorious, is it champagne and caviar dreams?
Yes.
Right? Well, in this case, on this case, the NCL Prima has completely revitalized the Haven. The biggest change is that the Haven suites are now moved to the aft of the ship versus being mid-ship on the NCL Gem, Pearl, Jade, and Jewel, and then forward on the Encore, Bliss, Joy, Escape, Getaway, Breakaway, and Epic. Whew. The importance of moving the Haven is because it finally offers the ability to look outwards versus inwards, which has created more of a larger space looking outwards to bringing that peaceful and relaxing feeling when you're in place. Okay. Now, what else is really cool about it is that there will be 107 suites available, with H1, H3, and H4 suites having expanded balconies for that relaxing feeling.
Wow.
So exclusive for the Haven guests is that they have their own private elevator.
Okay.
They're also all clustered together, and they all have a new array of colors and textures for each Haven suite.
Wow. Okay.
This makes me want to now stay in the Haven suite. So the Haven isn't the only new feature for accommodations on the Prima. There has been a revamp of all room categories. Each room has increased in size to make the feel more comfortable to be in a cabin and to have that boutique-y feel of like a boutique hotel. The bathroom has also increased, including the showers. And on top of that is the studios, so the solo suites, are back for anyone who wants to cruise solo.
Nice. So this may explain why there is less passengers on the Prima class.
Yeah,
And I think that might make it worth it.
I think so too.
It's always nice to have a little more space in the
It
shower.
is. It is.
That's the one place where cruise lines always make it uncomfortable is in the shower.
Scott and I, we're firm believers that, I mean, when you stay in your stateroom, we're not really in our staterooms a lot
No,
either,
you're
right?
not.
But with this one, with the different textures and the different way of the colors and of the placements of how they're making the rooms,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that spa like feeling oasis.
Yeah, it might make you want to be in your room a little bit
Yeah,
more.
and I agree with the boutique hotel look. Like, it significantly looks like a boutique hotel. Yeah. So what do you guys think of the accommodations? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think that NCL did it right? Like, do you think the Haven should have been just left alone in the front of the ship? Maybe in midship, like the other classes that they had? Let us know. Like, what do you really think about it? Like, the accommodations look amazing, and I honestly can't wait to experience it ourselves.
That's right. Well, finally, the really interesting thing that we want to share is about the itineraries that Prima will offer. Usually NCL does an inaugural sailing and then places the ship into its home port. But the Prima will have an inaugural tour, which will start in summer of 2022 in Europe and then move into North America. There will be a series of these inaugural sailings, starting with a 10-day Europe North, then a 12-day transatlantic from Southampton to New York City, then a few sailings out of the New York City to Bermuda, and a 12-day Southern Caribbean. Then a first of its kind, the Prima will situate itself to Galveston, Texas, to do 11-day Western Caribbean, to end it off with an open jaw Galveston to Miami, with ABC Caribbean Islands being offered. From there, she will be sailing the winter out of Miami, Port Canaveral, and then up to New York, to finally head back to Europe for the summer season, with 10, 11, and 14-day Iceland, with departures out of Reykjavik and Southampton. What do you think?
What do you think? When I was told about that, like,
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong, like Scott said, a lot of cruise lines just do an inaugural sailing.
Yeah.
It might be a transatlantic. It might even be because depending on where the
Depends
ship
where
is,
they're situating
where
the ship.
the situating the ship, and where even the ship is built.
Yeah.
So since this is actually the first ship with Fenteri, is you would think, okay, it'd be a Mediterranean cruise, like, you know, which they kind of are looking at, type of a thing, but
Yeah.
for it to sail an inaugural season,
Yes.
that is a
And go
first.
to all different ports. It's not just going to be based out of one port for that entire season. It's a really neat idea, and I think it gives more opportunity for people to try the ship out. You don't have to go to the Mediterranean or, you know, go to the Caribbean. You could just go to Texas and get your cruise that way. So I think
Yeah.
it's a great idea, and it's sort of a first of its kind. I don't know of any other cruise line that's done this.
And not only that, is if you just want to do a quick jaunt on the Prima, it's great. Like, go up to New York, spend a couple days in NYC,
Yeah.
get on her, go down to Bermuda. With the Bermuda sailing, you sail into Bermuda, you spend overnight, and you sail back home. There is, I believe, a secondary American port before heading back to New York.
Okay.
But Like, why not? Like, absolutely amazing. And I kind of think that we should probably pick one of those sailings.
You never know. It might happen.
It might happen.
We said we were going to sail on them last year, and that didn't happen. So,
I mean, we
maybe
are
we'll have
going.
to rebook.
We are going on the Encore in
Yes, we are.
in February for a group cruise.
Yes, we are.
But that might mean that we might need to pull the trigger and book the Prima, or have we? We don't know yet.
Question you have to ask later down the road.
Yeah, you might need to ask us. So another unique thing that was also brought up that really they didn't talk about, that some people are really asking about, is entertainment. Okay. Now, there wasn't a lot of information that was provided to us about the entertainment. It was mainly more that there is going to be specific entertainment created just for the Prima. Okay. But it would be like Broadway style, but it was just specifically for that class. They haven't divulged that information yet. We were informed that for us just to keep our eyes and ears open, that it could be down the pipeline significantly soon. So the other thing I've heard also too from a lot of people is that the Prima is just a boutique hotel sailing on the water, and that's really it. And that a lot of people are like, it's just a knockoff of Virgin Voyages.
Their Virgin is very different. I have to say, there's things that Virgin Voyages is doing that no one else is doing.
Yes,
and I do not feel that there is a comparison.
No, not at all.
Maybe in I wouldn't even say decor.
I wouldn't even say decor.
But you know,
it's got its little hints, because I know Virgin Voyages created like their version of a food hall, which is somewhat kind of similar to the concept of what the Prima is like.
Yeah.
But what I like,
different.
It is. But what I like about the Prima, I'm going to be honest with you, is that it doesn't have that extra gimmicks. Now, I can't say if the word, can't use the analogy of gimmicks. My apologies. Is that there's no water slides, there's no racetracks on it, which NCL's kind of known for the last few years with their Breakaway Plus class. This has just really got back to streamlined sailing, where it's just there's the simplicity of it. There's no extra gimmicky, like I said, items that, like, you know what you can do. It's just it's pure sailing. It's pure cruise.
I think this ship is going to be catered more to adults.
Yes.
And not necessarily. I mean, it's not like a family can't go on it.
No,
but,
not at all.
The ships, like the Encore, for instance, with the racetrack and the water slides, that is meant for families. And I feel like they're trying to make a ship that is a little more adult-oriented and, based a little more around relaxation and, just enjoying your time on the ship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, final verdict?
I really want to try her out. I think that this looks like an amazing ship. I love the new sort of innovation that they're bringing to the brand. I personally love a ship that doesn't have all the bells and whistles, all the water slides. Like, yes, they're fun to go do, but I go on a cruise to relax, and I go to enjoy the ship itself and the ports that we're visiting. So I'm not going to miss that stuff.
Okay.
I'm excited to see those infinity pools. I think that sounds amazing. And just the overall sort of look of the ship looks amazing. You can't turn down a boutique feel. Who doesn't want to feel like they're being pampered? And
right.
I feel like just the look of this ship is going to make you feel like you're being pampered. So yeah, I'm excited to try it out and hopefully get on board in the near future.
So Scott's a toot. Is Maddie a boot? Maddie is a toot. I cannot wait to sail on her. During the entire webinar, I sat there going, can I go now? Can I go now? Can I go now? And I agree with Scott. I think it's more of the simplicity of the ship. It's not simple to the point where it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's just another cruise ship. It's the simplicity of it, of being a elegant, regal, beautiful ship. The itineraries is what nailed it for me 100%. Don't get me wrong. I love the wraparound of the Ocean Boulevard. Yeah. I love the infinity pools. I love the bridge, but it's the itineraries. The itineraries did it amazingly for me. And Scott and I, we're going to be honest, we're looking at one of the 11 or 12 night stays out of Reykjavik.
Nice.
And it's a bucket list trip for us. And we're like, why not do a bucket list trip on
Go to Iceland.
Go to Iceland, but on a brand new, beautiful ship.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited. I'm truly excited. I really, really am excited.
It's always nice to see all the cruise lines when they put out new ships and see what innovations they've made and things that they've done. And I think it's, this is their first new class in 10 years.
10 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And, I can't wait to get on it to see if they've done it right.
So, what do you guys truly think of her? Let us know. Leave a comment below and let us know what you guys think of it. Like, thumbs up, thumbs down, what you guys can't wait to try, what you guys are a little about. Because it should be really interesting to see what the dynamic and the concept of what this beautiful new ship has to offer.
That's right.
As we always say again, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button.
Give us a like.
Ring the notification bell so you can keep up to date on all of our content. Well, you guys, I'm Maddie.
I'm Scott.
And we're from No Maps Needed Travel. And as we always say,
Let adventure guide you.
no maps needed.